When I first started fixing up the shop, my tools were in a constant state of disarray. I've slowly made progress, but one thing that's always tripped me up has been my terribly unorganized handsaw storage. Then, one day I stumbled on the Learning to Make Stuff saw holder build. They did a great job on building one with both form and function. This pushed me to design a few prototypes of my own. It needed the friction roller to be semi-encapsulated and also look good doing it. I liked the skeletonized look and decided to move in that direction going forward. The first thing I needed to do was prototype it. I did run into something on this multi-phase cut. I needed to bring the pocket out about half the size of the bit to get the ends flat like I wanted. You can see here what I mean. Not enough, just right. To clean up this little snafu, I just used some side cutters and didn't worry about sanding the top because it's a prototype. Then just made a temporary base to hang them from. One thing I noticed on my prototype was that the friction fit relies heavily on the teeth of the saw. Even though it's unlikely it would damage the set on the teeth, these saws are fairly precise, and I thought it would be a good way to improve on the original design. This caused me to rethink it and allow for a 1/4 inch recess on the back where it attaches to the base. The first thing I did was bevel the end of a few dowels for the test.
You get it where you want it, and then go cut it on the saw.
I noticed without the teeth binding, I needed a bit more angle. The light you see between these is because there's only 2 points of contact. One is with the blade teeth and one is the blade plate. Here you can see there's none, so it's only making contact with the blade plate. This led me to redesign it a bit, and I was really digging the changes. When I made this change, I made a mistake in my tool pass and offset the last 1/4 inch of both pieces that I planned to stack. This did give me a chance to take a step back and look at what I had done so far, but from a different angle. Now let's fix the problem. The first thing to do was remove that 1/4 inch recess on the front piece. As you can see here, I made this pocket overcut. That way I had those crisp edges. I wanted these a little deeper and used 1 inch board on these with the plan to just glue them together. That's why there's 2 different parts here. This doesn't require as much cleanup as the house does when the kids are in from school, but it does require some. It's a pretty simple process here. Just glue, glue, and glue. This test fit wound up fitting perfectly. Now on to the base. Since I had an idea in mind for how I wanted this to look, I went ahead and drew it up in Cut 2D also and just let the CNC do the hard labor for me. Okay, it wouldn't have been real hard labor, it just made it easier to lay out these holes. So I wanted these walnut cleats to be very specific to this project. I ended up drawing them up with kind of tiny Monopoly houses to hold them in place. I added a 30-second pocket on this just to make it easier for alignment. Here I added a countersink on the back, that way the screw heads wouldn't be sticking out. And here, I finished it with Danish oil. After putting the finish on, I went ahead and recessed the rest of the holes. To make the alignment easier, I put a screw in each one of these bottom holes. I got a little out of frame here, but what I'm doing is screwing the front piece to the base. All that was left here was to slide in the dowel rods, making sure that I left the bevel on the back. This will pair with the 1/4-inch pocket on the back of the holders. And now we just button them up. So all I had to do was set it in place and add a hotel to Boardwalk and to Park Place. There was quite a bit of satisfaction in this because these things stuck like glue. They are not going anywhere. Now it's that time in the video where I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I'd also like to thank my subscribers and ask if you aren't subscribed to do so. I have some unique builds going on as we speak and looking forward to revealing those projects in the near future.